Welcome to Nightmare for Giggles, where the shadows come to life and the whispers in the dark tell tales of terror. Tonight we delve into a story that will chill your bones and haunt your dreams. Imagine a seemingly innocent toy chest hiding a bone-chilling secret. Dare to discover the horror within? Turn off the lights, get cozy, and prepare yourself for a journey into the unknown. Because here at Nightmare for Giggles, we turn your giggles into screams. In the heart of the small, sleepy town of Eldershade stood an old, abandoned mansion. The locals referred to it as the Winterborne House, a name that carried with it a history of dark whispers and unspoken secrets. For decades, the mansion had been left untouched, slowly decaying under the weight of its past. No one dared to step inside, not even on a dare, until one day, a young couple, James and Clara, decided to move in, hoping to restore the old house to its former glory. As they explored the mansion, they were both captivated and unsettled by its eerie beauty. Each room seemed to hold remnants of a bygone era, from faded wallpaper to antique furniture draped in dusty sheets. The most curious discovery, however, was a large, ornately carved toy chest they found in the attic. Unlike the rest of the house, the chest was in pristine condition, its wooden surface polished and free of dust. It was adorned with intricate designs of children playing, their carved faces forever frozen in expressions of joy. "Look at this, Clara," James called out. "It's beautiful." Clara approached the chest, running her fingers over the smooth wood. "It's like it doesn't belong here," she murmured. "Everything else is so worn and old, but this..." "Do you think we should open it?" James asked, a hint of excitement in his voice. Clara hesitated. "I don't know. Something about it feels off." But curiosity got the better of them. James lifted the heavy lid, revealing a collection of old toys inside. There were wooden soldiers, porcelain dolls, and various other trinkets, all seemingly untouched by time. "These must be worth a fortune," James said, picking up a delicate doll with curly hair and a painted face. Clara felt a chill run down her spine as she stared into the doll's glassy eyes. "Let's put it back," she said, trying to hide her unease. "We can look at them later." That night, as they lay in bed, Clara couldn't shake the feeling that something was watching them. She turned to James, who was already fast asleep, and sighed. It had been a long day, and she was probably just tired, but the unease lingered, gnawing at the edges of her mind. Over the next few days, strange things began to happen. At first, it was small, almost imperceptible changes. A door left open that they were sure they had closed, footsteps heard in the dead of night, and the sound of children laughing softly, echoing through the empty halls. James dismissed it as the house settling, but Clara knew better. She could feel the malevolence growing, a dark presence that seemed to be emanating from the attic. One evening, as James was working late in his study, Clara decided to confront her fears. Armed with a flashlight, she made her way to the attic. The air was thick with dust, and the wooden floorboards creaked under her weight. She approached the toy chest, its lid now slightly ajar. Taking a deep breath, she lifted the lid once more. The toys inside seemed to stare back at her, their expressions sinister. Her heart pounded in her chest as she reached for the doll James had picked up earlier. As her fingers brushed against its cold porcelain skin, she heard a soft whisper, "Play with us." Clara stumbled back, dropping the doll. It landed with a soft thud, but its eyes seemed to follow her. Panic set in, and she fled the attic, slamming the door shut behind her. Clara's sleep was plagued with nightmares that night. She dreamt of children, their faces pale and eyes hollow, reaching out to her, begging for help. She woke up drenched in sweat, her heart racing. James was still asleep, oblivious to the terror she was experiencing. The next morning, Clara told James about what had happened in the attic. "We need to get rid of that chest," she insisted. "There's something wrong with it." James was skeptical but agreed to move the chest out of the house. As they carried it down the stairs, Clara could have sworn she felt it vibrating, as if something inside was trying to get out. They took the chest to a local antique dealer, Mr. Whitaker, who agreed to appraise it. As he examined the intricate carvings, his expression grew serious. "This is a very old piece," he said, tracing the designs with his fingers. "And these carvings, they're not just decorative. They tell a story. What kind of story? Clara asked, dreading the answer. A story of loss and vengeance, Mr. Whitaker replied. This chest once belonged to a wealthy family whose children mysteriously disappeared. Legend has it that the children's spirits were trapped inside their favorite toys, cursed to remain there forever. Clara felt a cold chill run down her spine. We need to destroy it, she said urgently, before it's too late. Returning home, Clara and James decided to burn the chest. They took it to the backyard and doused it in gasoline. As James struck a match, Clara couldn't shake the feeling that they were being watched. The flames roared to life, consuming the chest and its contents. Clara felt a momentary sense of relief, but it was short-lived. From within the flames, she heard the faint sound of children screaming. She covered her ears, tears streaming down her face. It's over, James said, wrapping his arms around her. It's finally over. But Clara knew better. The malevolent presence was still there, lurking in the shadows. That night, as they lay in bed, she felt a cold hand on her shoulder. She turned, expecting to see James, but he was fast asleep. Play with us. The whisper was right next to her ear. She screamed, waking James. The room was filled with an icy chill, and the sound of children's laughter echoed around them. Days turned into weeks, and the hauntings grew more intense. Clara and James were tormented by the spirits of the children, their vengeful cries growing louder and more desperate. They tried everything to rid themselves of the curse. Priests, exorcisms, even moving to a different house. But nothing worked. One night, Clara woke up to find herself standing in the attic, the toy chest miraculously restored and untouched by the flames. The lid creaked open, and the toys inside seemed to come to life, their twisted faces grinning at her. "Play with us, Clara," she screamed, but no sound came out. The children's spirits surrounded her, their cold hands pulling her into the chest. Darkness enveloped her, and she felt herself being dragged into a void of endless torment. When James woke up, Clara was gone. The house was eerily silent, the only sound the faint echo of children's laughter. James never found Clara. He left Eldershade, haunted by the memories of the Winterborne House and the cursed toy chest. The mansion remained abandoned, a dark shadow over the town. Years later, a new family moved in, unaware of the horrors that awaited them in the attic. The cycle began anew, the spirits of the lost children forever trapped, waiting for their next victim. And the toy chest, with its intricate carvings and sinister secrets, remained a beacon of darkness, hiding its bone-chilling horror within. Thank you for joining us on this dark adventure. We hope you enjoyed tonight's tale and that it lingers in your mind long after the lights come back on. If you crave more spine-tingling stories, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you never miss a night of terror. Remember, here at Nightmare for Giggles, the darkness is our playground, and your nightmares are our delight. Until next time, sleep tight, if you can.